Alright, welcome back to Lag Demon Programming. In our previous video, we set up this structure of how the dungeon is going to work, and I started working on putting some of that together here in our compiler and found that this was really not a workable structure for a number of reasons. So what I'm going to do is redesign that, and we're going to design it a lot more cleanly and more in keeping with what the compiler code needs to be able to work with it. The way we're going to do that is, and we're also going to do this much more simply. So the first thing that we need is a class that we're just going to call node. This is the base class of our system, and we're going to have a protected section here that's going to have some simple stuff. We're going to have a standard string pointer, and the reason it's so we'll have a standard string that we're going to call ident, a string that we're going to call display name, and a string that we're going to call description. Very simple. Then we will have public, and we want to have all of these, so node we'll have an ident, a display name, description, and we'll go ident, display name, oops, it's supposed to be underscore, display name, and description, and that's all we need for that class. That's the base class of our entire structure, because everything's going to have one of those. We definitely want to have items, so we'll have an item, and we will public, that's going to be a node, and an item needs only one extra thing, and we'll make this protected in case we want to, because we want to create some others. This is going to be a we'll just use float value. Items have a value, and they have all that other stuff, so we will grab this, change this to, I don't know why that keeps collapsing. We'll change this to item. We'll add down here a float value, and we will add here, except all this stuff now goes node, ident, display name, description, and then value gets value. We'll come back and put some we'll do that right now. We'll get some getters in here so that we can see this stuff. Get ident, and we'll just return ident. Get display name, return display name. Get description, return description. Good. On this one, all we need down here is float, get value, return value. And then since we have this idea of an item, that's got to be underscore value. Let's make two kinds of items. We're going to call it a common item, public item. And that's all we need, and we're going to make a class called a unique item, public item. And we're going to come up here and create, how do I want to do this? We will create an enum class called item type, and we will have common and unique. So here we will go item type type, and we'll have item type type, and here we'll have item type get type return underscore type. And then I guess we don't really need these. That's going to work out better. We can just get the item type, return underscore type, item type, item type. Expected. Oh. Okay. So we have items. The next class that we need is a room, and it's going to be I'll put this up here, public colon public node. It's also a node. Under protected, we're going to have a standard vector of type standard string, and it's going to be called exits. And we'll have a standard vector of standard string, and this is going to be called items. So again, just like an item, well, just like a node, we'll just grab this one. We have to have, well, it'll be easier with item because we already did node. We'll do this one. We'll change this to room. We don't want item type or value. We don't need value here. And then we want to go void add exit standard string exit. And we will go underscore exits dot pushback exit. Let's spell it correctly. Alright, and then we're going to have standard vector, standard string, get exits. And you know what, I'm going to keep a consistent naming convention here. I'm going to do it like this. Get exits, and this is going to be return exits. And we're going to do the same thing here for items. Add item, item, and this is going to be underscore items pushback item. And then this one's going to be get items and return items. All right. One more thing we might want to do is no. That's probably pretty good. So now one last thing we want here is a class that we're going to call the dungeon class. And it also is going to be a node, public node. Protected. This is just going to have a standard vector of room pointers called rooms. And a dungeon needs the same kind of description setup as this, so we'll just grab it from room. Except that we need public. And this is going to be dungeon. And there's node. All that stuff is here. And then we need void add room, room pointer, room, and we will go underscore rooms dot pushback room, and then we need to have standard vector of room pointer, get rooms, return underscore rooms. All right. Okay, this is a lot cleaner and easier to work with. We can get our exits. The thing is about an exit, I may want to change that up just a little bit, and we might make an exit object so that we can have a label that goes with the actual exit to a room rather than just using the room information, because there could be, well, we'll think about that. All right, let's go over here to our parser. Let's go down here to the bottom. So I've already set up some things up here, but we need to change them up a little bit because now we've got item, we've got room, we don't need description anymore, and we've got dungeon. Okay, we've got a vector of strings and a string pointer. I think we've got all the types there that we need. And then we don't need this description anymore. It doesn't exist. I don't think I have description up here. I took it out. Okay. Room item, and we're just going to go ahead and create this type. Is it dungeon? Did we create it? Yes, dungeon. Dungeon. So that makes that type a dungeon. And dungeon items, we're going to make a list of nodes. Well, we're going to work those one at a time. We'll figure out those as we move up. All right. So an ident list item. So we get an identifier. What we need to do here is say that $$ equals new vector of type standard string, and that $$ dot pushback $$ pointer push back $1. Okay. For this one down here, it's very similar, except we shouldn't have to create this now. We can go simply $$ equals $1. Then we can go $$ pointer pushback, and we want $3. So what we're doing here is when we get an ident, we got one, good. It's probably part of an ident list, or it could be, so we're going to put it into this here and make that ident as $, and then down here we're going to plug that in. And let's do a make and see if I screwed anything up. Yeah, of course I did. And of course it's a long thing. Maybe not too long. Let me put a gap in here so I can tell easily where I got to. Oh, there it is. Okay. Read definition of class node. Class node. Why is there redefinition of class node? Always something. It's always something. Oh, because AST.H includes it, and I'm including both in here. Okay. Well, we'll fix that. Yeah, we won't use generic. We'll use dungeon node. And we'll just quickly go change. Well, we got to change that. Then we got to change that and that. And then this and this and this and this. All right. Okay, compiled. Good. All right, over here in parser.y. Wow, time goes by so fast. This ident list. Actually, this is incorrect. Ident list items. Yeah, it's got to be a list. Yeah. We got to create the list, push it back. Up here, very simple. All we have to do is pass it up So we go dollar sign equals, in this case it's $2 because it's here. Okay, text, T string, we need to convert it to our, so dollar sign equals new standard string $2. That's an easy one. Same thing up here for name, display name. Just pass this string up. Same thing for description now, because, well, we've got display name. A complete description is these two things, display name and text. So we're not doing that anymore. We're not building that description object, so I'm going to get rid of that. But we will have a display name and a text that we will discover inside there. Wait a minute, what is this? We still need, oh yeah, we still need that. So now we've got a description. So what we can do is we can very simply, so description now has to be this node. So we do need one other type up in here. And this is for like temporary things. We're going to have a node pointer, and we're just going to call it node. And this is so we can capture some things like description. And do I have description in here somewhere already? No, it looks like I do not. So type, and this type is going to be a node, and it's going to be description. So description is just going to be a node. Okay, so what we're going to do, the syntax highlighter they made for this is rather weird. It does not show syntax highlighting very well. So anyway, we need to create a node. So we need to say that dollar sign equals new node, and we can create this now with dollar sign 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, but it needs an ident actually, so we're going to give it a temporary ident of just that. We don't care about the ident in this node because it's a placeholder node that doesn't have any meaning. So an item list, well, this is just a list of strings. So we need a vector, and an item list, I believe, is just that. Let's double check it. That we have an item, and an item is, it's an actual item. So refactoring this is a little bit weird, but an item list really should be just, oh yeah, it's going to be a list of items. So items, so this is just a list of names, but I decided that an item over here is going to be an object with a value, right? So this is an item list, but what we have up here is, this is the definition of an item. And so this item list is actually just, let me make sure everything's good. No, it's not. What doesn't it like now? Warning, warning, warning. Node does not have a type. Node pointer. Oh, yeah. Dungeon node. We changed that already, right? So if you come down here and This needs to be dungeon node. Still doesn't like it. Dungeon node. All right. A dungeon node. We need an ident, a display name, and a description. Oh, that's right. These are pointers. Okay. So we have to pass along pointers inside here. That should be okay. That should be okay, I think. Expected semicolon. What did I miss here? Of course. All right, that compiled. And at least it doesn't seg fault or anything. Okay. An item list is just going to be a vector, I believe. So we want to go $$ equals new standard vector. Standard string. And then where did we have item list? Yeah, this is where we're pushing back we're getting the vectors, so actually, no. This just needs to be $$ equals $1. We just pass it on. We get the item, no, $2. We get the item list here. It's items, item list, pass it on. This list, ident list, becomes an item list. Pass it up. Exit list, same thing. It's $, equals $2. Let's build that, make sure it works. It does. Then describing a room. Okay. So this is where, so we've got our description here, and our description, we made it a dungeon node. Okay. So what we're going to do is come over here to simplify this, is we're also going to have a constructor for this, because this takes exactly the same thing as a, oh, that is a dungeon node. Excuse me, room takes exactly the same thing. So what we're going to do is be able to initialize a room from a dungeon node pointer. We'll just call it node. And what we will do is go this thing's dungeon node pointer get ident comma node pointer. Well, we could just do display name underscore ident underscore display name node pointer underscore description. That way we can, what doesn't it like? Protected matter ident declare line 16 dungeon node pointer or object is not accessible through dungeon node pointer. Okay, so we do have to do get ident. We do have to do get display name and get description. Okay. What happens here is I work in too many different languages. Some things are allowed in different ways in different languages. C sharp is a little different behavior like this. You can, in fact, access protected members from within here because it knows that this class is derived from that and it allows it. This does not. But what this will allow us to do now is to take this dungeon node we created up here when we get this description. So this description here right now is just a dungeon node, but we need to turn it into a room. So right down here, we'll do this a little bit here. We want to go that $$ equals new room. Now we have an ident. Oh. The only thing we're missing at this point is the ident. So we can go ident, and we don't want this ident. We want this ident that we pass in, and then the display name and the description that we already have. So then we can go, the ident is $2, but it's going to be pointer $2, and then this description 3 4 $4 $4. So we've got that description pointer passed in, which is just a node pointer in a dungeon node. And then the exit list. Well, on our room, we can add individual exits. We should also be able to add a list, an exit list. So let's do void add exits standard vector standard string exits. And what we can do is go underscore exits dot let's do this for auto exits underscore exits dot pushback exit. Oh, excuse me. And we want to do the same thing down here for items, so we can add just a whole list of items right into it. Let's put this down here. We'll change this really quickly to items item items item. Make sure it still compiles, and it does not. Room. Oh, that's why. No, we didn't want to do that. string, standard string ident. What's this? Ident 1, 2. There it is. Okay, that works. So now we're building a room up. We've got our item and item list. Item and unique item. We need to create those here. Here's our item list, exit list. Yeah, we're building those up. This is a different kind. This is where we build up our actual item, either an item or a unique item. So for this, we just need to go $$ equals new item, and it's going to take an identifier, which is $2. It's going to take a description, which is $3, and a value, which is $4. I think that's how we set that up, right? Oh, we needed a display name also, right? And I don't think we put that in here because we included it in the description before. So the display name is this thing with a string. So this thing also needs a display name. Ident, display name, description, value. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 is the display name. Ident, I believe, is display name, description, value equals int. Oh, it probably should have been float. Well, you know what? Let's go back and change item value. We'll make it int for now instead of worrying about float. And that means that it has to be an int here. And an int here. Make okay. And so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $8. We got all those types right? Probably not. Item. Okay. Let's go back to here. Actually, I'm gonna, yeah, let's go here. So ident, that's a string, that's a string, that's a string, an int. Oh, and we forgot the type. And this is an ordinary item. So we're gonna go item type colon common. I think that's what we called it. Back up and double check. Yeah, common and unique. Okay. So this one's common. Oh, what the heck. String pointer. Okay, this is a string pointer, so we've got to change that. Dungeon node pointer. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Display name. Is coming out dungeon node pointer. Where's display name? It should be a item. String ampersand dungeon node pointer. Display name. A node is a description. A display name is text. All right, so this has to be pointer, or it has to be dereferenced rather. Item, string ampersand. Oh, it was description. Description is the node, so that we have the display name and the text. And so for item, we're passing in the display name and the description is strings. So we can do that a couple of different ways. Display name and description. Oh, description is taking both of those. So we just need description because display name happens here. We don't need this display name. We just need description. And it's $5 pointer get display name, and then it's $5 pointer get description, and then it's $8 for the value, and then the item type. Okay, we can get this straight one way or another. Oh, what the heck? What's wrong now? Warning, warning, error. Item has no declared type. Okay, no problem, because now item is item. What do you mean item has no declared type? $5 of item has no declared type. $. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Ident. This should have been 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, and this is no longer 8. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. Isn't this fun? Don't you just love compiler design or working with Flex, Bison? String, I'm missing a string in here. Ident, display name, description. Let's get this down. Ident, display name, description. That's a dungeon node. Okay. Item. Ident, display name, description, value, type. Ident, display name, description, value, type. What doesn't it like? Okay, can't be a pointer. What do you know? It built. So we just now we can compile a room. Let's test it and see if it does anything weird. And we get a coordinate. Of course, we get a core dump. Because what we need to do is go string $4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is this description that came from, well, that was item, a new item. We haven't done unique item yet. Compile an item, value, ident. I think that's okay. It's just going to turn it into a string, passing it through. It must be $4 description. Oh. Yeah, we're passing in the ident. Get display name, get description. Knife, and then a core dump. So let's try description. A sharp knife. It's fine with that. Let's print out $7. $7. It's 10. Why would saying new item and passing all that stuff in core dump? Well, one of the things we need to do here is go underscore type. I don't see how that would make a core dump, but perhaps it will. Yeah, it did. Well, anyway, we are 48 minutes into this video. I'm probably going to have to edit it down. I will troubleshoot these things, and we will try to figure out what's going on with getting core dumps, simply creating an item. That doesn't make any sense at all. See, I was running into a similar problem with the other design, and I thought it must be to do with the way I was handling unique pointers and the kind of complex structure I had. And I thought straightening this all out would fix that problem, but apparently not. So I must have something, I probably have something weird going on here. Item is an item. I've got unique item and item are both items, which is a pointer to item. So that shouldn't be a problem. This isn't doing anything with it yet. Just creating a new item and assigning it to here is somehow causing a core dump. Well, but all the values are coming through correct. Well, I will have to troubleshoot this and get back to you on the next video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.